they set up on my phone. That's how they're killing the battery. It's every time I'm live streaming, it will go from 100% to 0. That's how they're doing it. Okay. So I don't know if I'll be live streaming on my new phone and my new provider. I would assume not. Right. Just videos, typing. Okay, just as I reported, Stand Up is the one who sends me messages about paying for more data when Assurance Wireless isn't going to tell me to do that. It's a government phone service because I'm poor, I'm destitute. So just completely deranged, won't stop attacking me, trying to shut off the sound of my voice as their brains are dying in their heads. Anyways, right. It's about changing the mood, causing chaos, making everybody negative as their brains are dying in an extinction. Please, Allah. I have 3 portable chargers now. Okay. I think the one my sister gave me uses a different cord, and I thought it went to the headphones that won't set up to my phone, and I think she took the cord away because I don't think I took it off. But that probably doesn't go to the headphones, it goes to the charger. When she gets back, I'll ask her about it. You can't tell when it's charging. It doesn't light up. It lasted a while. Yeah, that one lasted a while. So I think it uses a different thing, like the one they gave me from the van. That plug went into it, so hopefully it's charging. I'll find out by the end of the day if it still doesn't have a charge in it. I don't think it has anything, honestly, at this point to do with explaining the person, Brian Buchanan, that doesn't have any teaching in the brain and how the psyche is not a human being and the person doesn't even have previous's to go back to and stuff and is a lost soul. I don't even think it's really about that because clearly this stuff's been going on for 15 years as their brains die in a mass extinction. Unfortunately, because of their underlying teaching and their psyche, in terms of denial and bargaining, the brain keeps making up all these other things, and then God uses that as a containment because they're dangerous. When people go into a desperation and their brains are gone, they can become dangerous. So they're doing all this technical stuff until that each one of them dies. I'm sure it's not the same person from the beginning. It's a whole slew of them. Some of them might have been trained through the military. The military screened them, and then they do meaningless stuff on computers as a distraction. They do actually recruit people who have pending criminal records in order to get out of it. So, just as an FYI, it's a whole service that the military does. Fraud on Twitter, remember that? Stuff like that. It's anything to cause an agitation with each person. Okay, just if it seems like what I do keeps me calm, that's why they interrupted, if you're wondering. If you don't rely on video blogging and taking walks and talking, that's why they're not doing it to you. Right, if you're wondering why certain people have all these problems with social media and devices, that's why. You're not relying on that as to keep you calm during this time. It's sinister, but it's not because they're primates trying to cause a war at the fig tree. Because they're dying and the whole species is in a mass extinction. Now I'm going to get a scratchy throat. Right, when in doubt, always remember the basic primate behaviors. You war at the fig tree. At any given moment, you war at the fig tree. That's what you do when you're under duress. You war at the fig tree. Um, yeah, I'm remembering stuff about Barbara Kent becoming wicked agitated because people are just sitting around not doing anything. Because you war at the fig tree when everybody's dying. You war at the fig tree. That's what you do. Screaming, yelling, getting people up, fighting with each other, screaming and yelling, looting, warring at the fig tree. Screaming, shutting it down, causing chaos, you warring at the fig tree. Yeah, a lot of them, especially the meth heads. You're not really doing all that to make your meth high better. You're warring at the fig tree because your brains are gone. Yeah, I don't want to be around people warring at the fig tree anymore. Yeah, I'm pretty much convinced the phone battery only does that when I'm live streaming. I don't know if you remember, I took a walk here once a couple of weeks ago, and as soon as I started walking, they killed the battery. I'm sure over time I'll have problems on the new phone too, just like the laptops. Every once in a while, you have to get a new phone, a new laptop, and that's all they do day and night with their time is try to figure out how to give your devices viruses and cause chaos. That's all that is. It's literal people doing it. Some people would prefer to think that there are viruses in the phone because it's disturbing to know that there's people locked onto technical devices like that as you wait for God to let them die. My sister would probably laugh and go, yeah, that would have been nice if Ma was glued to a computer and not following us around a house. Oh, I gotta do these dishes. You know what I'm saying? When you know a person who's sick like that and you can see it, you go, yeah, that would have been great if she was on a computer and she was causing chaos online and killing everybody's devices rather than following you around a house screaming at you to cause chaos and show up at the fig tree for a war. All of it. We're all gonna loot. We're gonna shut it down. You're at a fig tree. You're most definitely at a fig tree. Well, for them, spending time with their family and stuff is acceptance of your extinction. They, they won't let it go still. Right? You're in double overtime, and you still won't accept that. Don't stop thinking of it as a loss. God's transitioning you folks into something else. I don't know what we're barking at. He doesn't usually do well, unless he does it when there's nobody here. He doesn't usually do that. What are you barking at? I don't know, unless there's a dog outside or there's solar flares or something. She has a buzzer and keys, so it's not her. She just went out. Oh my God, last night's dinner was so good. So good. I should try to do exactly the same thing tonight. There's just something about those flavors. And my dandelion greens. I haven't had dandelion greens in a while, which I need to flush out my fluids. I'm supposed to flush out my creatinine, which is elevated. In crimes against humanity. Right, I'm not supposed to restrict my fluids because I have nowhere to urinate. So my belly's doing pretty good right now. That's why I made the video from the campground to again explain to you crimes against humanity and things that Almighty God won't forgive. I think he's barking at the maintenance guy. Yeah. Clearly he doesn't like it when she goes out, but I've never seen him barking like that when she's gone out. It's because there's a maintenance guy outside. That's all that's going on here. I would think you'd expect eventually. Aren't I in a lesson? Aren't I on a walkabout about my past? So wouldn't I eventually stop at replying Brian, the dude on Facebook? Wouldn't I stop doing that eventually and texting him? Some people just keep doing effed up stuff because they want to get away from you and they don't know how to. Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty much settled. Probably a Porter because John was there. It's any person. There was that weird, gross black guy that's probably a crackhead, and John. For some reason, I'm thinking it was probably more the weird, gross black crackhead. I'd say it was that, and then John showed up afterwards. Since he was hanging around with the quote supposed homosexual after that, I would say it was that. You just you see some weird guy sitting next to him, offering him his waters and stuff like he's gonna start making out with them right in front of you. Just like 2023. Right. John is a secondary person at that point. And then we scream at Mary and tell her to shake over there until she finally leaves. You keep telling her to leave. And then you're hanging around with the crackhead smoking crack. You burned through 300 SNAP food units in 2 days. So, not you being generous. Yeah, just whoa. I'd say that was, the finality of it all. Like, I don't even know why you keep pretending that you want to be with me. Just, and then all the weird stuff when he met me at the Mansfield train station. First, don't forget, I spent 3 nights sitting up because this person cares about my medical condition. As he's getting high as a kite and having fun with some person who's clearly not gay, having fun with a whacked out, deviant drug addict. Because I asked, he had fun with that person. Ugh. Then he meets me at the Mansfield train station because we're supposed to go camping, and just, he probably took off from his mother repeatedly. Did he think his mother abandoned him and shit? After a while, a woman goes, "This is like so gross, I can't look at it anymore. Can DCF just take him?" Yeah, just. And then the foster people, right? He already told me the foster people couldn't get him to keep going to those pedophiles' house and having sex with the child and stuff. They couldn't get him to stop doing it either. So then he ages out and you go, "Get out." They both went into their 20s. She became so disgusted. She met another dude. He introduces people to dudes to get rid of them. And then finally she went away. Explained it all. Once they weren't children anymore, they couldn't live with her parents anymore that are pedophiles. They had an apartment. She went to college. She had a car. She made money. They're working opposite shifts because they're not a real couple either. They're probably both drug addicts at that point. They're checking out other people. I'm sure they're having, like, relations with other people and stuff. And then her opportunity came where she took off with one of his friends, and then he couldn't maintain that apartment. He lost it. He tried to bring other friends of his in, and he lost it. And he's been street homeless ever since. Never has the person had a stable life and never will. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever met anybody like that's their actual. Most of the drug addicts that I've had conversations with out in Quincy, they had other lives before and got caught up in drug use. Like when you were in high school and you smoked a joint once and you drank whiskey from your parents' thing, and then you grew up and you continued with school, college, marriage, and stuff. They got caught up in more and more drugs. Some of them did get married and have children, but they got caught up in drugs. And then their lives were destroyed because of it. Hi. Sure. Rocky. He was just like barking his head off a couple minutes ago. I think it's because John was out there. Because as far as I knew, he didn't usually do that when she went out. Maybe he does, but I'm usually with her.
Yeah, but sometimes he'll back at that maintenance them if they're they're packed out there.
Oh, there he is.
Walking along there.
Yeah.
You want to go for a walk? Come on. Go for what?
He's won the battle. You're going to pick him up. He is starting to have a little bit of a trouble jumping up there, but he still can do it.
Yeah, he can still
He's got to be the boss, and he's taking you for a walk. supposed to warm up today, 50.
Yeah, and then was it 60 tomorrow? I think,
Yeah.
and then
I'm going to
that's
take
gonna
a
be
walk myself today.